All right, guys, in the co-main event, two-time strawweight champion Carla Esparza will defend her title against the former champ Zhang Weili, who looks to join an elite group with Esparza as a two-time champion. But going up against a pioneer in the game like Carla will not be an easy task. They both made weight this morning. They are both consummate professionals, and they both have really tremendous resumes in this sport. If you look at who they have faced in the UFC, who they have beaten in the UFC, it is an impressive list of names. But Paul, when you look at this one on paper, it seems like it is striker versus grappler. Is that how you are viewing this?
Well, I mean, it's hard to look at this fight and think that Carla's going to just stand there and try to trade with Zhang Weili, and vice versa. You're not going to have Weili go out there and want this to become some wrestling match. Both have very particular game plans and strategies, I believe, and it's going to come down to who can get it done. I think that Carla has to be relentless with the pursuit of the takedown. That doesn't mean she's going to get everyone. And when I was talking to other people about this the other day, I said, I hope that her conditioning is on point more than any other fight, because to keep that kind of pace for 25 minutes is what it's going to take. And on the other side, for Zhang Weili, takedown defense, keeping your feet moving, and having the cardio to do that, right? It's easy to just say, oh, I got to move my feet. But can you do that in a live situation for 25 minutes and still have power?
Paul, yesterday I told DC, Carla Esparza cannot stand in front of Zhang Weili for any amount of time striking with her and leave the champion. She just can't do it. And I hate speaking in absolutes like that, but I think it's just that. That's what the tape says. That's what it shows. That's what their skill sets bring. Carla has to, like you said, she has to be relentless with the takedown. She has to continue to force Weili to grapple or at least defend takedowns. Because if she's defending takedowns or worried about the threat of a takedown, that's going to be the less that she's striking. You're not going to have those power shots. You're not going to be able to sit and really turn over her punches, because she's going to have to keep moving.
When we spoke to both of them yesterday in the fighter meetings, not only were they prepared for the specialty of their opponent, but they also had a lot of faith in the fact that their opponent is preparing for them. You know, Carla Esparza specifically told us, I know Zhang Weili is working all takedown defense this entirety of camp. She expects her to be difficult to take down because this is the highest level. But as Carla said, listen, this is nothing new to me. I've been in the UFC for a long time. She was the first ever crowned UFC strawweight champion, and she talked to Brett Okamoto about making her first defense of her second time holding the title.
I've never been able to defend a belt, and that is a huge motivation for me. It's unfinished business for me, and I think that's, why I asked for a little bit more time to kind of recover and build my way back up. I think that's why I build my way back up to here, because I really want to get this done. Like, I want to, they say you're not really champion till you defend it, and that always kind of stuck in my head. And, granted, like, anything can happen in the fight, but I'm going in there to defend this belt. I'm so motivated for that.
And certainly she has a lot of motivation going into this one. Also, don't mind the fact that it's just raining here, and we are still just steadfast in our desire to give you the best breakdowns of these fights. But, painful as it is to say, Carla Esparza's last fight was very difficult to watch against Rose Namajunas. For 5 rounds, very little happened. So not only is she looking for her first title defense, Anthony, but she is also looking to show that she's a great fighter who can win fights, but also entertain. I mean, is there a lot of pressure if you're Carla Esparza on your shoulders?
Honestly, I don't think that there should be, because that's not her style. Her style is winning. She has a unique ability to slow down any person that she's ever been in there with, other than Joanna. So she's got to slow the pace down. She's got to slow the fight down into that grimy, kind of dirty fight. That's where she's the best. That's where she thrives. That's where she's made her money. If she starts focusing on being exciting and trying to please the crowd, don't please me. Go out there and defend your title. Like, of course, I want to see something crazy. I want knockouts and nutso stuff, but by pleasing people like me or the fans, she's going to have to bring herself outside of herself, and that's not going to be that's not going to add to success when you're in there with someone like Zhang Weili.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to just go out and try to be exciting for the sake of being exciting. What she needs to do is just be relentless in the pursuit of trying to get the victory. And for Zhang Weili, she's just so damn powerful and so strong. I think she's just got to stick to her game plan and keep it on the outside. Let her striking do the talking in there. Obviously, you're going to have to defend takedowns, but you've got to make her pay every single time with that, right? If she's shooting takedowns, use your elbows. Make her not want to close that distance. I think is going to be really important for Zhang Weili. Not to just defend, because that's not going to stop somebody from keeping the shot going. You've got to hurt them and make them pay every time they try to.
No, and Carla Esparza said, listen, the boos don't impact me. She got booed at the press conference. She was booed in the fight with Rose Namajunas. She said, I don't care. I'm a veteran. I'm used to just focusing on the grind from my wrestling career. But, Paul, very quickly, because you just mentioned it, if you're Zhang Weili, do you feel like there's any threat of possibly underestimating Carla Esparza's danger in the fight?
Well, I think that sometimes you can watch Carla Esparza fight and you think, okay, well, she's not a huge power threat on the feet. And you've seen people in the past, they've been able to keep the fight on the feet and defend the takedowns. But Carla is a veteran who's been in there with the best in the world, and she knows that last fight, she's got a chip on her shoulder, right? But she wants to go in here and prove something. And again, she doesn't need to come out of her comfort zone. As long as she is just constant in pursuing the fight and trying to get a victory and trying to get a finish, she can make it exciting, and she can give Zhang Weili a lot of problems. She's got so much experience with pushing the pace in that grappling department. If she gets her on her back and can keep her there for any extended period of time and wear on that power bar of Zhang Weili, the fight could really turn in her favor.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.